capacity continues to dwindle. In Nashville, 17% of hospital beds remain available and just 12% of ICU beds, a record low since the pandemic started. The total number of COVID-19 cases in Davidson County has now surpassed 20,000. Wearing masks might be paying off in Davidson County. Today, Vanderbilt University saying the 7-day moving average for COVID-19 cases in Nashville dropped below a month-long threshold level. That level is represented by the yellow line in this graph. You can see the 7-day average, including today's new case count, which is now at 331. There's also been a slight decrease in the number of COVID-19 cases per week, down to about 2,600 cases for the past week.
As we continue to see steady increases in cases across Tennessee, all eyes are on what Tennessee needs to do to flatten this curve. It's an issue that we expect the governor to address this afternoon. Julia Palazzo's live in the state capitol with a preview of what we may be seeing.
We should be hearing from the governor in about a half hour from now, but we know that Tennessee and Nashville have been making national headlines, and according to data from the Department of Health, right now 87 of Tennessee's counties have unacceptable rates of COVID-19 transmission, and over the weekend, Sunday was also the second highest number of new cases reported in the state. Hospital capacity, the transmission rate, and the 14-day new case trend here in Nashville still not meeting their goal, as you heard a couple of minutes ago. Last week, the White House named Nashville as one of 11 cities that need to take aggressive action to curb the spread. But Mayor Cooper's office says that we already are, with closing down bars and restaurants by 10 p.m. and making masks a requirement. Governor Lee said last week he is not considering closing down businesses again, but with schools reopening in just a couple of weeks, concerns are growing. The governor is expected to provide an outline on what teachers, parents, and students can expect for this upcoming school year as tomorrow, and families are anxiously awaiting for more details for planning purposes, of course, and we do expect to hear more about Tennessee's response to COVID-19 again at noon, and we will have full coverage on that tonight on News 2. Reporting live at the state capitol, Julia Palazzo, News 2.
Sticking with schools, teachers are unhappy with the plan to reopen schools for in-person classes, and they plan to make their voices heard. Elizabeth Lane is here now with a look at the die-in protest happening later this afternoon.
Nikki, Nashville teachers are leading this protest, saying they are speaking up for colleagues who can't. The Metro Education Association argues in-person classes could risk lives, and they carry a list of demands, including calling for online instruction until a county reaches 2 weeks without new cases. Organizer Amanda Kale says there is a stigma that teachers working virtually are just not doing their job. She says this is untrue, and it's a life or death matter. Kale wants Governor Lee to create requirements schools must meet to hold in-person classes.
And if schools cannot meet those requirements, they need to be online. And then also the state is going to do more to support our schools. We've been chronically underfunded for years. We're 45th in the nation for per pupil spending. So if we really want to reopen, the governor needs to put his money where his mouth is and make sure schools have what they need.
Demonstrators will meet at 5 tonight outside the farmers market, and they will caravan through downtown in funeral procession. Neil.
Interstate 40 that was closed down for several hours